everyone. In this video, we're going to be learning how to create a Cinquain poem. And this poem will be specifically for your father because Father's Day is already coming up this Sunday. So let's build a poem for your dad. Now, a Cinquain poem has a very specific structure. If you look at the poem, you'll notice it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. And do you notice it has somewhat of a diamond shape? So when you write your poem is going to be shaped somewhat like a diamond because there's a certain amount of words that have to go in each line. Let's take a look at the first line of poetry. The first line of poetry is simply going to be a noun, and I'll just put in brackets. You will not write this down on your card, but I will just write it here so you know. You are going to write a noun. Okay, now I want you to think of a person, place, or thing for your father. Now it's going to be a person because this is specifically for your dad. So I'm going to start with the name of my dad, which is Mauno. But you could do a word like Papa. Maybe you have a way of saying dad in your language that you use all the time. Maybe you want to say dad, daddy, father, okay? Words that are nouns that represent your dad. I'm going to go with my dad's name, Mauno. It's a Finnish name if you've never heard of it before, okay? So now the first line is complete. One word, one noun only. The second line consists of adjectives. 2 adjectives that describe my dad. So I'm going to put it here in brackets to remind you that we are doing adjectives for the second line, okay? Now I'm going to think of 2 words that describe my dad. You will think of 2 words that describe your dad. My dad is the biggest jokester, laughing all the time. So what I'm going to do here then is put that he's funny, because he certainly is, all right? So that's one adjective. Mauno is funny. So there's an adjective to describe him. Another word for him is loving. He will do anything for his children. Absolutely anything. So I'm going to choose the word loving to describe my dad. Okay, do you notice how both of these words describe the heading of my poem, which is Mauno, all right? The third line, you'll notice, has 3 words. Now these words, again, must be certain types of words. They must be, and I'll write it in the end in brackets, they must be verbs. Now these are action words, things that your father does. Okay, you can have these words end in an ing. What is your dad doing? I'm going to think about my dad. And when I think of him, I can think of him in the garage building. He was building all the time. So one verb to describe my dad is building. Okay, building rocking chairs, building outdoor furniture. He's built houses. So building is the first word I'm going to use to describe the actions that my dad does. As I stated earlier, he's really funny, so I'm going to use the word laughing, because then you can always hear him laughing. And the third word that is a verb for my dad is joking. He will tease people like crazy. Okay? So we went from one word, which is going to be your dad, a word you would use to describe your dad, either his name, the word father, the word dad, papa, a word in your language. The second line is 2 words that are adjectives that describe your dad. I used funny and loving. You described the words that describe your dad. Okay. The third line has verbs, things that you can see your dad doing. I put building, laughing, joking. All right. So we're building our poem out. Now we're going to come into, it looks like it's coming in a little bit, but actually this one is just going to be a line, a phrase that has 4 words, okay? 4 words that say something about your dad. It can be a phrase, it doesn't have to be a sentence. I'm going to write, gives big bear hugs, because he really does. Gives big bear hugs. If you don't know what a bear hug is, it's just a really big hug. So there's 4 words in a phrase, okay? Now your final line is going to be another word for your first line. It's kind of like where you started is where you're going to end. Now I call my dad just dad. So I'm going to end it with a word that means something the same as Mauno. He's my dad, okay? If you started with the word papa, you might want to give your dad's name at the end. Okay, so often it's a synonym, but in this case, Mauno and dad are not synonyms. It's just that my dad is named Mauno. So you can do names, you can do a synonym like papa and father. Okay, it just has to be one word, again, for your dad, a noun that you would call him. Okay, it's a synonym for this noun. All right. Okay, that's how we're going to write the poem. Now, when you're done, this is the fun part. Once your poem is done, and of course it wouldn't have these words in brackets, this would be your finished poem. You'll notice that the page is big. You're going to turn it into a card. So you're going to fold it over like this. Okay, create a card like this. Write a nice title like Happy Father's Day. Maybe draw a picture of your dad. And look, now you've got a card to give to your dad for Father's Day. All right, so write Happy Father's Day. I can even do it in nice big letters here. Happy Father's. You might want to do some nice big block lettering. You have a bit more time than me. Okay, maybe you want to do some hearts, a little picture of him with you over in a corner. Give it some color, it'll look beautiful. And then you'll have your Cinquain poem in the inside with the first line being a noun for your dad, his name, or the word father, papa, dad, daddy. 2 words that are adjectives that describe him. 3 words that are verbs that say what he does. A 4-word phrase, for example, gives big bear hugs. You just have to create a phrase that describes what your dad does. And then at the end, give a synonym for the noun. I chose the word dad. All right, so you're going to do the same. Well, you can pick another word, papa, father, whatever. Okay, that's it for now. Have a great day.